Samson was chosen by God before birth and blessed with incredible power to deliver Israel from its enemies. But his journey was also marked by temptation, pride, and failure. This is the full Bible story of Samson. Chapter 1. The birth of a deliverer. The land of Israel groaned under the iron fist of the Philistines. For 40 years, they ruled over the tribes of God's people, stripping them of dignity, taxing their land, and mocking their faith. Once again, Israel had turned away from the Lord, and their enemies had become their masters. Yet even in judgment, God's mercy stirred. In the quiet hills of Zorah, in the tribe of Dan, lived a man named Manoah and his wife. They were righteous, humble, and faithful, but childless. Day after day, Manoah's wife watched other women cradle their babies while her arms remained empty. Her heart cried out silently, "Lord, remember me." Then one day, as the sun poured gold across the hills, an angel of the Lord appeared to her. His presence shimmered like firelight, his voice both gentle and thunderous. She trembled. "Behold," the angel said, "you are barren and have borne no children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Therefore drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean. For the child shall be a Nazirite unto God from the womb, and he will begin to deliver Israel from the hand of the Philistines." The woman's eyes widened with awe. She ran home, breathless, crying out to her husband, "A man of God came to me. His appearance was like lightning. He told me I would bear a son." Manoah was stunned and fell to his knees in prayer. "O Lord, let the man of God whom you sent come again and teach us what we are to do for the child who will be born." The Lord heard his prayer. One afternoon, as the woman worked in the field, the angel appeared again. She hurried to fetch Manoah, who followed her in wonder. Manoah asked, "When your words come true, what shall be the boy's rule of life?" The angel replied, "Your wife must do all that I commanded her. The boy is holy to the Lord from the womb." Still unaware of his divine nature, Manoah offered to prepare food, but the angel said, "Offer it to the Lord as a burnt offering." When the flame rose from the altar, the angel ascended in the fire before their eyes. Fear struck Manoah's heart. "We shall surely die," he gasped, "for we have seen God." But his wife, full of peace, said softly, "If the Lord meant to destroy us, he would not have accepted our offering." And so, in time, the promise came true. The woman bore a son and named him Samson, meaning sunlight. As the child grew, the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him in the camp of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. From his birth, Samson was not just a man. He was destiny wrapped in flesh. Chapter 2. The Lion and the Riddle. Samson grew into a man of astonishing power and striking presence. His hair flowing in 7 locks, his frame carved with strength beyond mortal reach. Yet beneath that divine might lay a restless heart. One day, Samson journeyed to Timnah, a Philistine city, and there he saw a woman who captured his heart instantly. When he returned, he told his parents, "I have seen a woman in Timnah. Get her for me as my wife." His parents were dismayed. "Is there no woman among your people?" they asked. "Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines?" But Samson insisted, "She pleases me. Get her for me." They did not realize that God was using this situation to provoke conflict with the Philistines, who still oppressed Israel. As Samson traveled again to Timnah for the wedding, a young lion roared and charged at him from the vineyards. The Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, and with his bare hands, he tore the lion apart as if it were nothing more than cloth. He told no one what had happened. Later, when he passed by the carcass, he saw that bees had made honey inside the lion. He scooped some out and ate it, the sweetness mingling with the memory of battle. At the wedding feast, surrounded by 30 Philistine companions, Samson posed a riddle drawn from that strange encounter. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. For 3 days, they could not solve it. Frustrated, the Philistines threatened his bride. "Coax the answer from your husband, or we'll burn you and your father's house." She wept before Samson every day until he finally relented. "It was a lion," he whispered. She told her people, and they answered the riddle just before the deadline. What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion? Samson's eyes blazed. "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle." In fury, he went down to Ashkelon, struck down 30 men, and took their garments to pay his wager. Then, in anger and disappointment, he left his wife and returned home. The Philistines, thinking the marriage was over, gave his wife to another man. The story of love, betrayal, and vengeance was only beginning. Chapter 3. The Foxes and the Jawbone. When Samson learned his wife had been given to another, his rage burned hot. "This time," he declared, "I will be blameless in doing the Philistines harm." He caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together in pairs, fastened torches between them, and set them loose through the Philistine grain fields. Flames devoured their crops, vineyards, and olive groves until the land was blackened. The Philistines retaliated with cruelty, burning Samson's former wife and her father alive. When Samson heard, he struck them down, hip and thigh, with great slaughter. He then retreated to hide in a cave at Etam. But the Philistines invaded Judah, demanding, "Deliver Samson to us." 3,000 men of Judah came to him, pleading, "Do you not know the Philistines rule over us?" "What have you done?" Samson replied calmly, "I only did to them what they did to me." They bound him with 2 new ropes and brought him to the Philistines. But as his enemies shouted in triumph, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him once more. The ropes melted from his arms like wax before fire. He reached down, grabbed the jawbone of a donkey, and with it struck down 1,000 men. When the battle ended, he threw down the jawbone and cried out in exhaustion, "You have given me great victory, Lord, but shall I now die of thirst?" God split the ground open and water flowed out. Samson drank and was revived. Thus, Samson judged Israel for 20 years, a man both feared and revered, a living paradox of divine strength and human weakness. Chapter 4. The Fall and Final Triumph. Years later, Samson's fame was known across all Philistia. His might was legend, but so was his weakness. He loved women of the enemy nation, and his passions often led him astray. In the valley of Sorek, he met a woman named Delilah, beautiful, cunning, and dangerous. The Philistine lords came to her secretly and offered a great reward. Entice him. Find the secret of his strength. Delilah played her role well. "Tell me," she said sweetly, "where your great strength lies." Samson teased her with lies. "If I'm bound with fresh bowstrings, with new ropes, if my hair is woven into a loom." Each time she tested him, and each time he broke free. But her persistence wore him down. "How can you say you love me," she cried, "when you hide your heart from me?" Finally, Samson told her everything. "A razor has never touched my head," he said softly. "If I'm shaven, my strength will leave me." That night, as he slept on her lap, Delilah called for a man to shave his 7 locks. When the Philistines burst in, Samson awoke shouting, "I will go out as before." But he did not know that the Spirit of the Lord had departed from him. They captured him, gouged out his eyes, and bound him with bronze chains. The mighty judge of Israel became a blind slave, grinding grain in the prison of Gaza. Yet as time passed, his hair began to grow again. One day, during a grand feast to Dagon, Their god, the Philistines, brought Samson out to mock him before thousands. A boy led him by the hand to the pillars supporting the temple. Samson whispered, "Place my hands upon the pillars that hold up the house." Then he prayed one final prayer. "O Lord God, remember me. Strengthen me once more, that I may avenge your name." With divine power surging through him, Samson pushed. The pillars cracked, the temple shuddered, and in one final roar, the building collapsed, killing more in his death than he had in his life. And so ended the life of Samson, the flawed yet chosen man who, despite his failures, fulfilled the purpose God had written for him: to begin Israel's deliverance from the Philistines.